You're not doing a favor to Jehovah's Witnesses when you are being kind to them, because kindness does not resonate with them. To them, your kindness is a sign of weakness. And anytime somebody is nice to a Jehovah's Witness, they see it as an opening. They say, ah, this person has kindness, which is a weakness, which I can prey upon to make a placement, perhaps a Bible study. And when you are nice to a Jehovah's Witness, when you tell them, oh, thank you, well, thank you for sharing your point of view, they see it as an encouragement that they can go further. And you give them an inch, they want a mile. They want 10 miles. And hey, no! Easy. When I was a Jehovah's Witness, I went to one of my Bible stories. I told you about this before. Went to a Bible story, and there was a Christian preacher there. And this man was not mean to me. He was not mean to me, but he wasn't nice to me. And what he did, you want to save a Jehovah's Witness, here's how you do it. You have to shock Jehovah's Witnesses. If you're going to get through to them, you got to shake some sense into this thing. Shake it up! When you are nice to a Jehovah's Witness, you are telling them on a subliminal level that it's okay. What's going on here is okay. You have your point of view, I have mine, and since I'm the nice one here, you will probably hold sway. Because Jehovah's Witnesses, if you give them the upper hand, believe me, they will act upon it. And I'm to the community of people out there that are trying to win some words, reach their hearts, friends. I don't know. Maybe it'll work from time to time. In my experience, what gets people, you gotta shake it up! And when you shock some Jehovah's Witnesses, they'll go home and they're going to replay their conversation with you in their mind again and again. They're going to replay that conversation and think, oh, I should have said this. Ah, I should have said this to him. Oh, let me look up some scriptures that I should have said to him. And what's going to happen is they, involuntarily, but they will have to question who they are and what they're doing. I talked to a Christian preacher, and when I left that situation, he surprised me. I didn't know he was going to be there. This Christian preacher, and he had watchtowers from the 1960s and 70s, and I was faced with the reality that I did not want to face. To be honest with you, friends, I had, from years of being a Jehovah's Witness and from seeing the dark side of it, I had, in some place in my subconscious mind, I had already come to the realization that this was not real. But I had to keep telling myself, I said, look, I don't have a choice. This is who I am. This is where I am. This is what I'm doing. I don't have a choice. This is who I am. And I use positive reinforcement on myself all the time. It was like Stuart Smalley. No! Yes! I was like Stuart Smalley. I did a daily affirmation. I really did, friends. Before I would go out in field service, I would tell them, I would look at, I would just look at the ground, just like when you see like football players praying on the bench. No, let's not get that far, friends. It's not. I was just joking about that. But no, seriously, before I would go out in service, I would have to use positive reinforcement on myself to say, this makes sense. What I'm doing, I'm here doing this. Now, maybe Jehovah's Witnesses aren't right about everything. Look, I had come to the realization that Armageddon was tactically not realistic, and that I can't give you an exact date, but somewhere in my 20s, I had come to the realization in the back of my mind that Armageddon has problems. And I didn't allow myself to think about it too much, but I had these creeping thoughts all the time that I said, it's just logistically, there's some real difficulties going on here. Also, it's just not realistic. I went out in service all the time because I did positive reinforcement on myself, and I told me it's okay. Jehovah's Witnesses, it's a religion. It's a religion, and this is my religion. It's not that I had such strong. It wasn't that I felt so confident in the religion, or that it just spoke to me. I was Jehovah's Witness, and I was a proselytizer. I went from door to door. I did, friends. I spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours going door to door, and not because. And yes, I said it was because it was the best way of life. Yes, I would do this even if there was no eternal life. I would still be proselytizing from door to door. Yes, that's the company line, but the real reason I did was because it's what I was supposed to be doing. And it was the path of least resistance for me. I was elder's son, elder's grandson, family of elders, and it's just what I was supposed to be doing. In a religion, in the forum of religious discussion, don't be nice to Jehovah's Witnesses, friends. Don't do it. Shock them. The Christian preacher I talked to, he shocked some sense into me. He said, "Wake up, son! What do you think is going on here?" He put Watchtower. He had a folder. He threw it open on the coffee table in front of me. He said, "What do you think this is? What do you think is going on here?" He forced my eyes upon 1975. It was a 1968 Watchtower. He had a folder full of clippings from Watchtower magazines, a folder full of them, and I kept trying to look away, but I would look away, but then I would look back down again. I didn't want to see it, but I had to see it. He wasn't mean to me. He wasn't being absolutely cruel to me. It wasn't an act of cruelty, but he was forceful and direct, and I did not enjoy the experience. I left there. It was not a pleasant departing from that experience, but I went home and I spent a lot of time thinking about what the preacher had said. Now that preacher will never know that he got through to me. See, Jehovah's Witnesses are people that are lied to. Do you understand that? They're victims. They're people in a burning house that don't believe you that the house is burning. You want to save a Jehovah's Witness, you got to get through to them. Now, I was a Jehovah's Witness for a quarter of a century before I heard of 1975. Never heard of it. Believe it or not, it's not something that's discussed at Kingdom Halls. I was a Jehovah's Witness for years after that. A few more years. About 3 or 4 more years I was a Jehovah's Witness, but I unraveled. I unraveled after that.